Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Thursday, April 17th. I promise today's episode will be a lot less angry than yesterday's. I got all that off my chest about TJ Watt. I appreciate you all and all the comments, one way or the other, for listening through that. Look, today I want to talk about NFL draft visits and something that's been going around for the last couple of days that I feel like I probably should have addressed by now and I haven't. And that is the reporting that's come out about Shedeur Sanders' visit to the Pittsburgh Steelers when he made his pre-draft visit to Pittsburgh. And there's been like some stuff that's come out of the last couple of days. And a lot of people trying to characterize, it was a really good meeting or a bad meeting or whatever. And I kind of want to throw some facts on that and let you all know what happens on these meetings, how it goes down, that kind of thing. So, there was a report by Peter Schrager of NFL Network that, this meeting lasted for 5 hours. I think a lot of people latched onto that. It's like, oh my gosh, 5 hours. Like, must have been this great meeting. I'm like, that's how long they all take. In fact, I think that's actually probably a little low. It's probably more like 6 hours. These things usually start in the early morning and go until the middle of the afternoon. It really depends on like the one time thing that's sort of variable is like how much medical testing the Steelers want to do on a specific player. Maybe they don't have to do any medicals. Maybe they want an MRI. Maybe they want to see him, move in a certain way or whatever. Like there's all kinds of different things that can go on with the medical stuff. And then the guys get in the building and it's not just like 6 hours sitting with Mike Tomlin. They talk to the PR staff. They talk to the strength and conditioning coach. They tour the facility. They talk to their position coach, their assistant position coach, whatever. There's like this series of meetings in this process that every player goes through where they're meeting a lot of different people in the building. And yeah, it takes most of the day. That doesn't mean it was good or it's bad. They all take 4, 5, 6 hours, something like that. About the only thing that I can confirm that happened during Shedeur Sanders' visit that doesn't happen with literally all the other 30 visits that the Steelers made was that he came in the night before a little bit early and they went out to dinner with him. That's something they do with a lot of prospects, but not necessarily every single one. Every other thing that they did with him is totally standard, totally normal. It's not like there's some like crazy length of his visit or that amount of time he spent with the Pittsburgh staff was notable in any way. There's also been a report I saw yesterday shared by Jack Sperry that was a video of Aaron Wilson from KPRC in Houston saying that it didn't go well, that Shedeur Sanders won't be a Steeler because the meeting didn't go well. I'm like, I have a lot of respect for Aaron. You just can't buy stuff like this. Like the only people who could have met him whose opinion would matter are just simply not going to share it, right? Like if Omar Khan or Mike Tomlin or Andy Weidel or Arthur Smith came out of that meeting and said, whoa, we're not drafting that guy, then yeah, okay, that would matter. But those guys are just not going to say that. There's too much invested in them being vague about what they're doing to do that. Like we're gonna have Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan on a pre-draft press conference on Tuesday. Somebody asked, how did the meeting with Shedeur Sanders go, and are you going to draft him? Even if it was the worst pre-draft meeting in all of NFL history, even if the Steelers said, not even if he was willing to volunteer as a free, undrafted free agent, not even a rookie camp invite, would we ever bring that guy back to Pittsburgh? Even if that's what they were saying internally when they came out of that meeting, they're going to say it was great. So, like, it's nonsense. You can't learn anything from trying to read into stuff like this. It doesn't mean anything. Are the Steelers interested in Shedeur Sanders? Of course they are. First of all, they have a gigantic need at the quarterback position they've been unable to resolve through free agency. Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class, is very unlikely to be available to them at pick 21. If he happens to be, would be a significant coup for them, and they will probably draft him if he's there. I just, like there's the idea of there being a better player available to them to 21 is pretty far-fetched. So, like, yeah, they'll probably do that if he's there, and he probably won't be there. But, like, the idea that the results of that meeting are somehow going to sway that process or that anyone would have knowledge. And, like, if it's coming from the player side, like, man, Pittsburgh, that place sucked. Who the heck? I hate to break it to you, man. If Shedeur Sanders is being considered by the Pittsburgh Steelers, he no longer has any leverage in this process. You're already at 21. Like, do you want to go to Cleveland? Like, is that what you want? Like, it's not like the player's going to put his finger on the scale at that point. I mean, one thing if he went to the Giants and be like, this place isn't that great. I'd actually rather wait around for the Saints at number 9 or the Jets at number 7 or whatever, the Seahawks. No. Like, if you're falling to 21, you're just going wherever you get drafted. Like, that's the end of it. So if it's coming from the player's perspective, the draft that the meeting didn't go well, that is completely irrelevant at that point. Maybe early in the draft, not at 21 in the first round. Now, maybe, player said, well, they said they're not going to come up to get me. Okay. I mean, maybe, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. And that doesn't mean he won't be available at 21. I don't think it's likely, but it certainly is possible. This is lying week, man. You got to be skeptical about the things you read and hear. People are trying to gain an advantage in all kinds of ways, both players and teams. And to talk about no one is going to talk honestly about the characterization of one of these pre-draft meetings. So if you're reading a characterization of a pre-draft meeting, you should just ignore it, because there's no reason. If Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin in the middle of this podcast knocked on the door right over there, opened it up and said, our meeting with Shedeur went great, we're definitely going to draft him at 21, we're thinking about trading up to 3 to get him, I'd be like, you're lying. So, yeah, don't listen to other people's third-hand characterizations from people who may or may not have even been in those meetings either. Just take it skeptically. That's all I got for this morning. Back with more with Smitty on Afternoon Drive at 6. Let us know. Throw us some topics our way. We're going to probably need to crowdsource some here as, one of the problems with taking everything skeptically is that you then run out of things to talk about because you just say, none of that means anything. So let me know what you want us to talk about that does mean something on the Afternoon Drive. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. Steelers Morning Rush, Steelers Afternoon Drive, all the rest of the stuff we got going on. All kinds of draft day visits, videos can be coming out from this next weekend at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. Until then, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time.